Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Unpopular View Dynasty Corner for football picks. Week 11 coming up. Just came off of a stellar Week 10, which I don't think anybody did very well last week. Does that surprise anybody in this panel? Anybody?
Doesn't surprise me.
Nope. Yeah, Joe, you're muted, so if you're saying anything,
No, I thought your board said 9-5. Maybe that was for another week.
Yeah, that was for the previous week. I was deleting them all. We'll get to who won last week a little bit later. I think it was shocked to people who won. It shocked the people who lost. But let's get into it. Let's go immediately with Thursday's game this week. Is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals against the Baltimore Ravens. Both teams are part of the AFC North. Ravens coming off of a really tough, heartbreaking loss last week. Let's get right into it. Joe, we'll start with you. Your thoughts when it comes to this game?
Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens to get on track. So they maybe put my foot in my mouth because I caught in the league and then they immediately gave up like 25. So, but I still think they're arguably the league. They still got the highest point differential even after the loss. They just got a brutal schedule, and it's continuing this week with Cincinnati. But I think they're going to get back on track.
I believe I picked the Baltimore Ravens. The smart side of me would have picked the Baltimore Ravens. The rebellious side would have picked Cincinnati Bengals. Ravens is just looking stellar right now. They're doing a lot of great things. Both of these teams had upsets this past week and everything loosened to who they play. The Texans and the Browns. Cincinnati Bengals lost to the Texans and the Browns beat the Ravens. So we're going to see what happens. I think the Baltimore Ravens is going to pull it off.
I'm going to go with the Ravens, too. I think both teams have pretty much gotten back on stride from early season mishaps. And even with the upset losses, they've both been playing a lot better. I'm thinking Baltimore is going to right the ship first before Cincinnati and get this win coming up.
I'm going to go with the Ravens simply because of the fact they took that loss last week. And they need to come back looking strong. The Ravens are arguably one of the best teams in the league. Definitely the second best team in the AFC North. And they have a lot to prove here coming up on Thursday. Looking forward to this game. I'm going to root for the Bengals, and I hate the Bengals, but I got the Ravens pulling this one off. All right, next in rapid fire succession is actually another AFC North match. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. Rapid fire. Go.
The Browns. Also, there's no way in hell that you call the Steelers.
So you didn't mute yourself, and I didn't mute you, but even StreamYard itself
didn't
want to hear the bullshit that was about to come out of your mouth. Because as soon as you start talking, you were completely out, my friend. Completely out. You know why? Because it didn't say that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the best team in the AFC North, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the best team in the AFC North, which is why. Hey, let me go ahead and take the floor rapid fire. I'm picking Pittsburgh Steelers. Go ahead, Phil.
Browns. Steelers are not the top team in the AFC North.
Browns.
Haters everywhere. Raiders versus the Dolphins. Eddie, where are we on? You go ahead and go.
Dolphins.
I think he said Dolphins.
I think I read Dolphins.
He said Dolphins, but Joe, I don't know what's going on. You might have to go out and come back in because we heard nothing you said. The Peter is very upset. Oh, there he is. He said Dolphins. Did somebody not go?
Not me. Dolphins. They're going.
Dolphins. I'll go ahead with the Dolphins also. Next thing we'll talk about in detail is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Houston Texans. We'll start off with time.
For this one, both of these teams, Kyler Murray came back. They got a W, so we're going to see if they can make that 2-0 since he's been back and everything, see what more they're going to look like with Kyler Murray behind the helm. And the Texans, we just talked about briefly that they beat the Bengals in the upset win and everything. And your boy Stroud is playing borderline MVP caliber, man. And I know he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year and everything, but yeah, he's doing some great things with the weapons provided for him. He doesn't have great weapons. I mean, he has Nolan Brown. Who's Nolan Brown? He didn't do anything with the Cowboys, or maybe because they didn't give him any opportunities or anything, or many opportunities. We know Dalton Schultz was doing good things over in Texas and Dallas, so I would have expected no less going into Texans and everything. But for me, I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans.
I'm gonna go with the Texans too. Yeah, the Cardinals looked a lot better with Kyler Murray. Well, no, because dude they traded away. Dodd was doing pretty good too. I think Stroud keeps doing what he's doing and make us Panthers fans regret taking the wrong quarterback in the draft and showing us butt and pulling off another win.
You don't somewhat think that maybe it might be just a system thing? He's more successful because of the system that he went into or the situation that he went in?
Hey, shout out to D'Amico Ryans and the system he's putting in. He has proven that his system is a whole lot better than what Frank Reich has brought to the table as a failed coach, but still keeps getting chances. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's Joel.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Texans, man. CJ Stroud, he's playing outstanding. And Cardinals, Kyler Murray came back. And, yeah, I mean, he just came off. He was out for a long time. I'm just rolling with the Texans. I like the coach, D'Amico. I don't even think it's going to be that close, honestly.
Cardinals and Texans. This is a game I'm looking forward to more than the Steelers and Browns. Right?
Non-biased.
I don't even know how we came up and picked this game. This game doesn't seem like
because you picked the system, and we tried to stay within the system.
The system is we picked 3 of the primetime games and 2 of the best games of the week. If somebody's going to sit here and say, the Cardinals and Texans going to be one of the best games of the week, I'll sit here and say, wrong! I'm not blaming anybody for picking this crappy game.
Look, you're mad. Understood. You're mad, okay, because, y'all's game is going to be one of the most boring games in
I mean, if you're saying that the Steelers are probably going to blow out the Cleveland Browns,
Pittsburgh football is so boring.
Yeah, Pittsburgh doesn't have the quarterback to blow out the Browns. Browns have a pretty stout defense, so it's going to be an interesting game. It might be a low-scoring game, but it's going to be interesting.
He sit here and says, if Steelers football is not interesting football, I mean, they win. You know what I'm saying? They have the best coach in the league. And then you have the Dallas Cowboys who plays the New York Giants. I mean, that was a stellar game. Everybody want to see a game like that. Oh, get the hell out of here. What are we talking about? Cardinals and Texans?
Yes.
Texans. But don't get me wrong. I say it every single week. I know the record is not that good. But the Arizona Cardinals have the capability to beat almost any team in the league. I still stand by that, and I always will stand by that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got more football, hopefully better football games than the last football game that we talked about coming up. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
So once upon a time when I was a young man, right? So you couldn't fast forward nothing. You had to just deal with what was on. You remember. So I had to sit. Oh, man. Okay, boom. Oh, man, Powerpuff Girls are on. I can't wait to watch that. But you had to sit through a freaking hour of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo to get to Powerpuff Girls. So I had to suffer. And I had to watch these idiots. These guys who knew that these guys were humans in costumes. I had to see these guys running their stupid attire, especially Fred, because what was that thing around his neck? What was that, a scarf? A mask. Terrible fashion. Hated them all, and I had to deal with this. And then they had a spinoff just to make me even angrier. So when you guys look at me and you go, And everyone, a few, oh my God, Scooby-Doo meets Hollywood. Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo. There was a dog called Scooby-Dum. Why was there a Scooby-Dum? There was just so many of these spin-offs, and they kept
I
going.
like one or two versions of it, but that's about it.
They kept going. They made a movie, and then I knew, what was this band called? I forget what they're called. Simple Plan. And then they were singing. I said, "This thing is still going." Oh my God! And they're still going right now. There's a Velma show, and the Shaggy's Black. Yeah. So when people ask me, "Why are you so angry?" It's just not because I was born angry. That might be a part of it because I didn't ask to be here. But then there's all these spin-offs of Scooby-Doo. There's like a universe of Scooby-Doo. Why are we doing this?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work.
That man really didn't like Scooby-Doo.
I wasn't a fan of Scooby-Doo either. I really wasn't. I feel him on that. Like he just so
there was a lot of passion in that, though.
Yeah. Well, more power to him. Let's go back to some rapid fire. We're back on Apollo Review Dynasty Corner. That is the NXT show, which happens immediately after NXT, except for tonight they're taking a break. But that's Bad Guy Jack along the Wrestling Doll. Let's talk some rapid fire. Really, Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions. I'll go first and go with Detroit Lions.
Lions.
Rapid fire again. Stay with Eddie. Titans and Jaguars.
Jags.
Jaguars.
Jags.
And I'm going also with the Jags. That's 4 in a row. Jets versus Bills. The next game we're going to talk about in detail. New York Jets against Buffalo Bills. 2 teams coming off primetime football games last Sunday and Monday, respectively. Let's start with Kill Mo Charles. What do you got?
I have no faith in the Bills anymore. There's no reason the Jets should win this game. They still don't have a quarterback, but I'm going with the Jets.
I'm rolling with the Bills. There's no way they're going 5-6. That's not possible. So they have to win the game.
Yeah, I used to think that way too about the Bills. Bills were one of my favorite teams coming into the season because they've always been able to stay competitive and everything. But unfortunately, they have been doing very poorly this year. And Josh Allen, to no surprise, is leading the league in interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. And
shocker!
I know, right? And we all know that the Jets are horrible. And it's not the entire team that's horrible. It's more the quarterback is horrible. But one thing that the Jets have proven throughout the season is that if you let them linger around, they're going to bite you in the ass. And the Bills have not been able to put away games when they need to. They have not been able to pull away from just about anybody, So with that being said, I am going with the Jets.
A lot said there, Eddie. But you're going with the Jets. I'm going with the Jets as well. Buffalo. What's funny, and I'm going to segue into the next game. There's certain teams that I have faith in this year, and they disappointed me almost every time, even when I picked them. That's not the Bills or the Jets, but it is the Carolina Panthers as they face the Dallas Cowboys this coming week. Let's do rapid fire in this one. I'll go first. I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys. Shocker, right? The team that just blew off another terrible team, the New York Giants, against a team that deserves to get blown off every single week, the Carolina Panthers. Anyway, my pick, Carolina Panthers. Rapid fire. Phil, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Hey, Cowboys are playing a better team in the Carolina Panthers compared to last week. All right, I think the Giants are the worst football team in the NFL right now. They're looking worse than a freaking college team right now. I mean,
my bad. I didn't know the Giants were in this game.
I'm just saying, anyways, we all know what's going to happen. Cowboys are going to take this dub.
I roll with the boys. They're playing a bad team every week. Like
they are. That's why their record's so good. And that's why it makes them look like a better team than they actually are. I completely agree with you, Joe. Completely agree with you. Stay on Joe. Chargers and the Packers. Chargers and Packers.
Background noise.
Don't worry about it.
I'm rolling with the Packers.
Packers.
Chargers.
I'm gonna go with the Packers too. I just have this feeling they're gonna pull it off this week. Hopefully they don't disappoint me. Next game we're talking about in detail is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Denver Broncos. And I'm gonna go first on this one. I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings.
I thought it was in detail.
I mean, he doesn't have enough to. He doesn't have a lot to say about these teams.
I don't have a lot to say about this one. I just think the Minnesota Vikings has a better offense than the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos has not been a consistent team. Minnesota Vikings have all the tools, and they are a little bit more consistent players. They could probably be a little bit better than they are, but they're not. However, they're playing the Denver Broncos. They don't have to be but so good. That's why I'm picking the Minnesota Vikings. My bad.
The Denver Broncos also won
this
last week. Also, if I'm not mistaken.
Who did they beat?
The Bills.
Yeah, the Bills.
Right, exactly. Like you just sat here and talked about Josh Allen, how he leads the league in interceptions and everything. I mean, it speaks for itself.
Hey, they're still a formidable team to beat.
I said the Arizona Cardinals are a formidable team to beat, but I think if I remember correctly, their record is like 3-7. So I don't I'll tell you. All right. Anyway, since we're on you now, go ahead. Vikings and Broncos.
For me, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I understand.
He said all that shit, and then he just picked the Vikings.
I'm just saying they got a victory this week, all right, and they think they look like they're starting to kind of get into the groove of things over there in Denver and all that. But regardless of the matter, I mean, the Vikings they've always been a quarterback away from really going deep into the playoffs. And Kirk Cousins, I know he got injured and everything, and it was looking very poor with Kirk Cousins behind the helm for real. But this kid, Josh Dobbs, he's shown that he can win, and not just in Arizona, but here with the Vikings also. So I believe that he's going to come up with the victory again and show people that he should be a starter permanently in the league for a few years to come. So let's go. Josh Dobbs.
Go against the grain here and say the Broncos. I think that last win might have been that confidence booster that not only Wilson needed, but Sean Payton needed to justify his coaching this year. So I think they keep the momentum going and Denver gets the win.
Yeah, I'm going with the Denver Broncos. They're like the hottest. And, I think they were averaging, giving up about 36 points per game in their first 5, and then the last 4, only giving up about 15, 16 points a game. So I don't know what changed, but it's like night and day since they gave up 70. These are 2 of the hottest teams in the league right now as far as like winning streaks. But somebody got to win it, so I'm gonna roll with the Broncos, and they're improving deep.
All right, we have how many games? 4 more games, including the Monday Night Football game to talk about. We're going to talk about all 4 of those when we come back from this last commercial break. Stay with us.
Are you going to pick though?
I picked the Vikings.
Okay.
I did. You remember?
No.
Because then I got all this rebuttal because Eddie was like, "Oh, I thought we were doing it in detail."
Yeah, he was the first one to go.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I'm the first one. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Watch Unpopular Review.
Every person in this room has the perfect motive.
Stand back!
For murder.
What do you mean? Murder.
But only one of these suspects is the murderer. Is it the timid Mr. Green or the militant Colonel Mustard? Mrs. White, who helped her husband on his way. Miss Scarlet. Professor Plum. Mrs. Peacock. Clue. It's not just a game anymore.
and so he was paying people to.
Whoa, hold on, wait, time out. I'm sorry, I'm gonna take the floor. You're talking about trash, but this whole announcement was trash, and you guys, you're the AEW faithful, and I respect that. Salute to you guys. But this was, I don't even want to say dog shit because that's disrespectful for the dogs. This was like camel shit, and the flies were like, no. They said we have standards.
No, I agree.
This was a waste of my time. I was watching this on TV. I said, boom, I'm going to be on the AEW review show and on Popular Review. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be on time. And then Tony Khan comes up there. And no disrespect to Nigel. I think Nigel's a great dude, right? But he's sitting here hammering it up with this guy, laughing at Tony Khan's joke. Like, Tony Khan said, he didn't even say a dad joke. He said a rug joke or some shit. And then you have I can't even say this guy's name. What's his name? The guy who's with him. Thank you. I'm so frustrated. I can't even say the man's name. This was a waste of my time. This was a waste of Dan's time. It was a waste of Sheriff's time. It was a waste of executive consultant's time. And whoever, we only have one person in the chat. It's a waste of that one person in the chat. This is a waste of all our goddamn time. I'm going to have to take another shower because I'm so fucking mad from this. Because I'm sweating of anger. I'm pissed. And Tony Khan, he always does this thing when he has to say, I got to have a big announcement. I just feel like, I wish, what I wish the big announcement was today? I wish that he would have said, It's the holiday season, because you know what that means. And then Mariah Carey just comes melting out of some fucking eyes. That would have been way more entertaining than what the shit that he said there. This was dog shit.
All I'm saying is I was hoping for a money giveaway.
Anyways. I'm sorry, this was bad.
All right. AEW review immediately after AEW every single Wednesday. What you saw there was Dan the Man, the Sheriff, as well as Bad Guy Jack. I'll be on tomorrow for it instead. And then Thursday, we're going to be talking about Clue the movie as we continue I Love the 80s flick. But we're talking about some football. Let's talk about football rapid session, rapid fire. Last 4 games, Giants versus Commanders. I'll go first. I'm going with the Commanders' heartbreaking loss this past Sunday. But, when I say that, I should have said about the Giants because their heartbreaking loss was a little worse. But I'm going to go with the Commanders for this one.
Commanders.
Commies.
Hold up, because I'm a little surprised by this, right? Because I swore a couple episodes ago, Joel said he would not pick the Washington Commanders for the rest of the season.
He said he wouldn't pick them for free. So he's going to bet something Giants related, but I guess he's still picking the Commanders for this.
Yeah, he didn't say Commanders, he said commies.
This is the one.
This is the one.
Like the Giant, the Giant, we're not going into detail on this one, but it's like all you have to do it against the Giants right now is show up. I'll just leave it at
that. Not so much as a heartbreaker. Everybody and their mama knew that the Giants were going to get smacked in the mouth just like they did on week 1. It's just facts. If you didn't think that was going to happen, then you're delusional. You're delusional, just like how they say all Cowboy fans are and everything. But that's okay. All right. For this one, I'm going to go with the Commanders.
Biased opinion.
It is very easy for me. We'll go with the Commanders. Commanders will get this done. Your boy Sam Howell.
We can't win this. Just fire the whole team.
Just fire the whole team.
The Giants right now, you just got to show up.
I don't know. They probably could beat the Panthers.
So for this one, I'm going to pick the 49ers. It's a no-brainer.
Niners.
49ers.
49ers. And I'm only going to say this because they're trying to get back to being the second best team in the NFC. Good job. Good luck. Let's see. Seahawks and Rams. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Rams upset.
Hawks.
Eagles and Chiefs. The last thing we want to talk about, since we're stuck on you, Eddie, go ahead and talk about it. Monday Night Football Super Bowl rematch.
This is a possible Super Bowl preview. I mean, to be honest, is one of the 2 dominant teams in the NFL right now. Both of them, well, actually, one of them sitting in the number 1 seed, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Kansas City is in the 2nd seed, if I'm not mistaken, because the Baltimore Ravens are still in top. But I'm sorry, Kansas City is definitely going to win this one. Andy Reid doesn't normally lose coming off of a bye week. We remember those days in Philadelphia very well. Patrick Mahomes still doing his thing, even though we don't know half of the people that he's throwing to other than Travis Kelce and Isaiah Pacheco. And Philadelphia's defense, their front seven, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. But that secondary is very suspect. I don't know what happened to them since last year. They're looking like night and day to me. But again, Kansas City for me.
Then we'll pick the Chiefs too. On paper, you think it shouldn't happen because, like you said, you gotta pretty much go down the well to figure out who Mahomes is throwing to, other than Travis Kelce. He's like, okay, McKinney is going to probably come out of nowhere, have a big game. Rice will probably get a couple of touchdowns from the slot for no reason, no reason other than Darius Slay or James Bradbury isn't covering them. And somewhere that secondary of the Eagles defense is a hole somewhere, and the slot receiver will exploit it. So we'll go with the Chiefs.
Sorry, Chris. I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs. Chiefs at home. Chiefs got the best defense they've had in decades. Offense is kind of trash right now, but they still got Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco. There's also his kid Rashee Rice. I know he played for where did he play for? I think it was Southern Methodist, SMU. He played a game against Maryland last year, had like 200 and something yards, 270 yards or something crazy. He's been playing pretty well for the Chiefs. And of course they still got Patrick Mahomes. So Eagles, I don't think they really have a shot in this one, particularly because of the Chiefs and the enhancements on defense.
Let's hear your solution.
That doesn't bother me. I mean, if y'all want to pick bad picks, that's up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to win and see who knows how to pick the best football games. You know, and I win typically because y'all have bad picks like this. I mean, everybody knows the Eagles are going to win. The Eagles are the best team in the league, right? They have the number one seed in the NFC, the number one record in the NFL. The number one seed in the AFC is actually the Kansas City Chiefs, not the Baltimore Ravens. They're number two. But both these teams coming off.
Who has the number
one seed in AFC is definitely the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 7-2. Baltimore Ravens are 7-3. They just took a loss.
Oh, okay, right.
So, but the bottom line is, when you think about it, Baltimore is going to get right back in that spot because the Chiefs are going to take another loss next Monday, right? This is a rematch of the Super Bowl game that they squeaked by and beat the Eagles with, right? Because the Eagles should have won the Super Bowl. Everybody knows that, right? They dominated that game pretty much until the last half of the quarter, or the fourth quarter. This is their win back that you're going to get. This might be a Super Bowl preview. I don't think it's going to be a Super Bowl preview because I think it's going to be Eagles and the Steelers. But if it's not the Steelers, this is maybe what happened. I'm still going to go with Eagles and Dolphins over the Eagles and the Chiefs. Either way, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. This game is going to prove why they're definitively going to the Super Bowl. All right. So let's talk about last week.
Very nice soliloquy that you had there, boy.
Much better than any of yours. Like when we talk about completely different, two different teams, and you went with the Cowboys for some reason. All right, so can anybody guess who came in last place last week?
Last week, Chris.
It was Kilmo Charles.
Woo!
Well, actually, no. He's to last place overall. He didn't come in last place last week. But overall, he won 8 games last week, lost 6. Overall, won 67, lost 53. 4th place for the 8th week in a row, Phil? You are in last place. What's going on?
I don't know.
Right. Joel came in last place last week with 6 victories, 8 losses. But his overall record is 73-45. So Phil, he has work to do, but he can catch up to Joel. Joel had horrible picks last week, which is why I'm not upset with him picking the Chiefs this week. What are you shaking your head for, Joel? You go ahead and mute yourself and tell everybody why you shake your head. Say it again.
I'll bounce back this week. For all the generic games, I gotta stand out. I can't just pick all the obvious shit. So
Eddie, number 2, 8 victories last week, 6 losses, so a record of 34-42. What say you?
Hey, you win some, you lose some, but if you live to fight another day. That's what this week is.
Number 1 with 8 victories last week, 6 losses, and holding on to his number 1 spot is the executive consultant with 75 wins, 43 losses. Let me tell you something. When you're this good at what you do, the numbers speak for themselves. And if y'all stop picking with your hearts, right, and start picking with this up here, you'll be able to win too. That's my final thought.
Hey, Chris, I see your noodle over there smoking a little bit.
how you pick 118 games and Eddie only pick 116?
You know what I'm saying?
And Phil apparently picked what is that? 120? Something ain't making sense. But
This man, that's how you know he's washing it, bro.
You're right. Hold up. I got you. Eddie had 38 losses last week. He just lost 8 more. So he's 46. So you just made it worse for Eddie. So Eddie is 74-46. I'm cool with that.
And what was mine again?
Joel,
how you adding 4 losses to me just because you just counted? Like,
you lost 38.
Look at the wins, losses.
No,
You
I'm
just
wrong.
automatically gave me losses.
I'm wrong. Hold on. Let me break the calculator out. Oh, I can't. It's not working. Okay. So he had 38 losses last week, and he had 6 losses this week. What is that? That's 42.
That's 44.
It's 44.
All right, so my phone's about to die, so
I'm not feeling well. That's what's wrong. Yeah. Go ahead. We'll talk about it. I'm going to figure this figure. Either way you look at it, I'm winning. That's all that matters to me. I am winning. Okay?
You're up by 1.
I am up by 1. So either way you look at it, I'm winning. I will figure it out. Anyway, long story short, I'm the man. Y'all suck. Thank you so much for watching us here. We'll see you next time right here at Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.